One of the things that's really important to us is to make sure that we enjoy our lives today and not wait until we're 60 to enjoy our lives. Financial independence to us means being able to have the flexibility to make changes in our life, whether that means taking a sabbatical for 6 months or another career change just because we can and that's what we're interested in, and not having to worry about where the money is coming from.
My name is Jenna Bhaloo. I'm 30 years old and I live in Chicago with my husband Neil. Together we earned $227,000 in 2023.
Our income comes from a combination of my work in renewable energy and Neil's work in tech. Neil and I first met at Boston University when we were 18 years old, but we did not start dating until the following year when we were 19 years old. The rest is kind of history. We've been together ever since. Neil and I did not do a prenup before we got married, but we're planning to do a postnup. One of the reasons for this is I think we both had this misconception that a prenup or a postnup was only for if one person in the couple had like a huge difference in their assets versus the other, and typically that's been the male that has the large number of assets versus the female. But in my research and education, I actually found out that the power of a prenup or a postnup is actually in how the assets get split if you were to get divorced or someone dies. For us, it's really important to make sure that we are set up well if something like that were ever to occur. Neil and I both come from families of immigrants that have always really valued financial health and money management. One of the things that my dad always used to tell me was to not spend what you don't have. This was really ingrained in me in a young age, especially when he helped me to open up my first credit card in college. In my research in financial health and wellness, I came across Financial Independence Retire Early. The FIRE movement was something that we wanted to explore. I think for us, what we really value is more of the financial independence rather than the retire early. We'd love to achieve financial independence in about 10 to 12 years, so in our early 40s. Our estimate for our financial independence number as of today with our dog and no kids is about $2 to $2.5 million. But of course, that number can also change as our goals and decisions in life change as well. I think to achieve this net worth had to be very meticulous in how we spend our money and track our money. I don't necessarily think sacrifices were made, and I think there's a lot of beauty in that. Like, you should be able to enjoy your life and experience all the things that you want to experience, but you can still have the investments go to work for you while you're enjoying and spending on the things that you love. So one of the things that really surprised me about Neil's spending habits was that he really only spent on the things that he genuinely loved and would make investments into those items. Whereas for me, I think I also at the time was understanding the importance of really spending on the things that you love and not really paying attention to spending money on the things that don't bring you joy and happiness. So I think that's something that Neil was able to bring to our relationship as we thought about how we wanted to create spending habits together. When Neil and I moved in together, we both started tracking our expenses together, also opened up a shared credit card for all of our household expenses, but we still kind of split all of our expenses 50-50. It really wasn't until we got engaged in 2021 that we started to think about how do we want to combine our finances moving forward. We're gonna get married, what does that look like? And so both of us went through kind of a financial health education period where we were trying to figure out what do we want our finances to do for us? What are our goals in life together? Where do we want our money to take us in the future? It's not until this year actually that we started working with a financial planner to help us realize those goals. One of the biggest categories of spending is usually your rent or mortgage. I think like the number on the internet right now is to spend like 30% of your income. And I think that number is frankly too high. I think we try to keep our rent or our housing expense between like 15 and 20% because that's a number we just feel more comfortable with. As of now, Neil and I are very comfortable renting because we like to have the flexibility to move wherever we want to live and not have to worry about the upkeep and management of a home. I think we'd be interested in owning a home perhaps as like a rental property or an investment piece, but as of now, we have no plans to purchase a home, but of course that could change as our life changes in the future. Outside of rent, our three biggest spending categories are groceries, dining, and travel. We absolutely love food. We're big foodies and we love to travel and experience new cultures and really beautiful spots around the world. I think they're also the expenses that bring us the most joy. The driver for me going to business school was not necessarily salary. It was more of being able to explore other career paths and be able to find something that I would be really proud to work and be a part of. So I was in a full-time MBA program for 2 years. However, I think a misconception of business school is that you don't earn any money while you're in school. You have the potential to earn a salary during your summer internship between those 2 years. And then there are opportunities to work part-time. So while I was in school, I worked as an admissions coordinator for Fuqua. In my second year, worked about 10 to 15 hours a week part-time at the company that I interned with, and that's the company that I work with now. So Chicago is a great contender for a city for us to settle down in one day. I think after Neil finishes school, we definitely want to move abroad. Not sure yet where that will be, but we're keeping our options open. And then from there, we'll see where life takes us. I think so much excitement in that unknown. So if Neil and I were to hit our financial independence number tomorrow, I think we'd probably take our family on a big trip somewhere. And I think the other thing we would do is to donate some of that money to causes that are really important to us. Being able to contribute to improving quality of life is something that I always want to strive to work towards.